It was like hustling job searching. I took the job because I worked there and I was English in different phases of
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. First of all, thank you for coming, even though, you know, you've had a long day and you were at work and, well, we were at work together and...
Yeah. No, actually, there is no need for that. First of all, I love you guys, actually.
Oh, well,
I love you too.
it goes both ways. Love you too. Is that the coffee from yesterday? Last night?
Yeah. I forgot to drink it last night, so I'm drinking now.
So you are a Barcelona fan? You are a Barcelona fan?
Barcelona fan, yeah.
He loves Barcelona. All right, do you watch football?
Yeah.
No, dude, I'm asking him.
But not Barcelona.
Oh, which team?
That's dangerous. You're a fan of Real Madrid.
I was.
He's so scared of saying right
Tell
now.
Ronaldo's out of there.
I will kill you.
So who do you support now?
Manchester United.
Oh!
You're an enemy of Sam.
Huh?
You're an enemy for Sam, not me.
You are a Liverpool fan?
Yeah, I mean,
The worst
yeah.
team. Yeah.
I'm kind of like how look it's like this is a problem. Like every second you might say something, I might say something. How is this? Can you talk for a second?
I don't know. You should tell me.
I mean, I could. İşte, for example, like right now. No.
Actually, it seems like you are having a duetto together or singing a duetto together.
Okay, I mean, this is fine. I'll just get.
How's now?
Oh, it's good.
Okay, then. Let's do it.
I think you might wanna go with the headphones. I'm fine without headphones. I don't care. So wait, I wanted to ask you an important question. Oh, well, you're from Egypt, and like you right now, you saw like how Al kind of, you know, like what he said and like how he reacted like toward you being from Egypt. What do you usually get when you say from Egypt? What is the reaction that you usually get? Is it like, oh, the pyramids of Giza?
Yeah, I was about to say, oh, the pyramids. You know? Oh, how were the pyramids built? Oh, of course, the aliens. You know, he gets surprised when I say the Egyptians. It's an obvious answer, but he was waiting for me to tell him that it was the aliens who did it.
Everybody expects that, right? Like, everybody wants you to say aliens, man.
Yeah, I usually get that reaction. Oh, Egypt.
So what do you think about it? What is your idea? Actually, that's an interesting topic.
That is the reaction that was that I was talking about.
Come on, I hadn't asked you this question for like over 2 months.
Yeah, but because you are not Turkish.
Okay.
You know, Turkish people are very curious.
Yeah. About aliens.
About life. There are many theories actually about how the pyramids were built, and no one knows actually the truth. You know, it's really hard to know till today how, and not actually the pyramids, the whole civilization. There are a lot of things in the Egyptian civilizations they are discovered, and how were they discovered? No one knows till now.
Is it true that we have some pyramids out of Egypt, like for example in Pole?
I have no idea.
I've seen one pyramid. It's in a forest, I believe.
I think I have seen something like that, but it was something like a natural pyramid.
Natural pyramid? I don't think so. The one that I
like it was in a forest. Maybe the forest came after that, but I don't know. But it seemed like it was naturally built. It it was built by the nature, or it's not crafted,
I remember it. It wasn't something natural.
Maybe I have seen something else.
As far as I know, well, there are many. There have been like many pyramids found in South America, in the Amazons, and in Mexico, and in some other South American countries, but I don't remember the names of most of those countries. So yeah, I mean, it's not just Egypt, but well, there are some other things about the pyramids, about the remaining pyramids, because apparently there were more pyramids, and some of them were naturally like demolished somehow, and they were destroyed. But the remaining pyramids are also interesting because, well, there's this thing about the coordinations of the pyramids. Like the coordination literally matches the speed of light. Something
Speed of light,
something like that.
A lot of things actually. The sunrise, and that somehow it's like, I don't know. They match with. I don't know, but there are many theories about it too. But it actually also about the sizes, not just it was built by by rocks. It was not crafted.
Yeah, it wasn't crafted. It was built.
So that is the majesty of the Egyptian pyramids comes here.
And the rocks seem to be like miles away from where the pyramid exists. Like where they brought the rocks from are apparently miles and miles away from where the pyramids exist. This is what I've learned from watching some other videos. But the question here is, this is something I have never heard before. What do people in Egypt say about this? Like you know this, you've lived there, and you were inside that country. What is said inside there about the pyramids? What do people say
about the pyramids in Egypt?
Yeah.
Actually, no one give a shit.
That's amazing. It's okay with me when it's on me. It doesn't. Okay.
Because in Egypt, especially these days, people care a lot about food, about shelter, about their children, education of their children. It's really hard at this time. So
I'll fix it.
No one would say, "Oh, look at the pyramid there. How great they are." No one cares actually right now in Egypt.
One, two. Yeah. Okay.
Is it okay now?
I see. Yeah.
Okay.
It works well. And also, I have another question. I don't know if it's right or not, but is it right that there are some drawing something there in Egypt?
Drawing?
Have you seen the signs of million years ago of people that they draw something
on the walls,
in
actually,
caves and blah blah?
Yeah, sure. It's everywhere.
In those signs,
primitive drawings from hundreds of thousands of years
on the
ago.
walls of the pyramids, inside the pyramids, and the walls of I don't know what's the name of it. With the old, they pray for the old gods in that place.
Like shrines.
Yeah, I know
holy places.
Yeah, holy
shrines.
places.
Yeah, shrines. Yeah.
There are in Luxor and Aswan. There are many places like this, and in every place on every wall there are so many drawings, and actually they are also now translated. You can translate them now. This was the hieroglyphic language, and it was written in a shape of in the style of drawings.
Pictures.
Animals and humans. And there was a rock called Rashid Rock that was discovered by a French guy during I don't remember, was it the Napoleon? No, not Napoleon. However, the French people were conquering us one day, and they found that Rashid rock, and it was written on it on Latin and hieroglyphy and some other language. And from using this rock, they solved the language of hieroglyphy language, and how can we translate from hieroglyphy to our language or to their language, and so on.
Mhm. So my questions first. I've heard that in those things on the walls, there are also some signs of aliens.
No, actually, it's a language. It's like the Arabic or the English language. At these days, this was their language. You can translate it. You can understand it.
But there are also some drawings there.
In the human being way. Okay.
Like if it was some drawings, is it just language or also some drawing?
I mean, the language.
No,
is
it's
basically
even
the
these
drawings.
drawings have sounds.
Mhm.
It's like ha ha. They have sounds.
Mhm.
And you can translate it and read it like a true language.
Mhm.
And I believe if it was an alien.
No, I mean, in the drawings, the people who draw them, they've also drawn some like aliens shape humans.
This is the kind of
Yeah, for example.
drawings he's like talking about. This is one of them, which is legit. I mean,
I haven't seen this before.
I've seen
actually.
this in many places, but also I have another example that I'll try to find and show you. It's this drawing of this guy who looks like an astronaut, yeah, I'll try to find it. You guys keep talking.
Are you sure that these photos are real? They are not.
The photo that I showed you, I think, was legit, but I'll show you another photo that is 100% legit.
And also another one. Is it right that humans can't enter to every part of the pyramids? There are some parts that still no one could see them.
Apparently, yes. They say so, and I don't have the full idea, or I don't have the full information about it. Because as I have told you, no one gives a shit about Egypt. We never care about it. We don't even ask these questions.
Oh, yeah, this one is 120%.
So actually, we are giving you some information.
I haven't seen any of these before.
This is a very controversial drawing.
That's interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe not aliens. Maybe like someone traveled in time. Which looks.
That's even worse.
Yeah. But I think it may be more logical.
That questions our reality, kinda.
Don't you see that traveling in time more logical than aliens?
It's more fascinating, I would say.
Both are logical, I think. Like aliens.
How is time travel
Like
logical?
if we talk about not the theory of science, but like the action of science, I think aliens are more possible than traveling in time, at least with the knowledge that we have now.
Actually, for the knowledge we have now, scientifically you can travel in time, but to the future you cannot travel to the past.
Actually,
Sure.
yeah, and I know what you're talking about, traveling in time, but I mean traveling in time, not changing the time according to the speed or blah blah blah. blah.
You mean you can go back and forth any time?
Yeah,
anywhere.
that's impossible. That seems impossible. But the idea of aliens, well, other beings existing, is not illogical at all. Since just consider like how big the fucking universe is, and consider how big existence is. I mean, it doesn't end in a planet. It doesn't end in a solar system. It doesn't end in one galaxy, right? And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It seems endless. So it seems very odd and kind of illogical to think that we are the only existing beings.
That is actually, the only image for aliens that we have is about people maybe with oval face and 3 legs, maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, aliens may be bacteria, a kind of bacteria.
Yeah.
any kind of living organism that lives any other place.
Yeah.
So we actually also lack how the aliens might see, or we also suppose that they are smarter than us. Why it should be like this?
We also suppose that if ever aliens reach our planet and humans, they will annihilate humans. But why should we think that they would want to kill everyone? Why should we think that they would want to be as aggressive as possible?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think if I have discovered another planet and there are some other living organisms living there, I would be interested. I would be welcoming. I will try to get to know them. I would try to be.
What would Hitler say in this topic? For us, the idea of other kind of living things, it's fun, it's wow. But what other people, especially the politician, would say? And actually, that's the problem, that we think, okay, if the aliens come, they will kill us. Because we are seeing the word. Even now, the 1st February 2023, we have the war of Ukraine and Russia.
But you know what? I will tell you something. We also, as a human beings, have these instincts, that anything strange, anything that is not like us, is going to kill us.
Yeah.
It's in our instinct, And that's how we survived. Because if there is something that I don't know what it is, what is the identity of it, it might be dangerous for me.
But also the curiosity of knowing new things developed lots of things.
Yeah, it's like a mixture of it. Should be a mixture of it. But you also should be careful. You should be curious, but you also should be careful. Because, there is always someone who should take that step and go for it. And, the first man who will die.
Yeah.
And after that, everyone will learn from him.
Yeah.
From his experience.
But, since we have no idea about the other planets, galaxies, and blah, blah, blah, blah, I think it's normal that we can't have a good idea about them. We used till 10 years ago, for example, everyone used to say that, okay, aliens, those creatures, whatever that we call them, they are smarter, they are more developed, they are more blah, blah, they are more blah, blah, they are more blah, blah. And then with all those good things that we used to tell about them, we also believe that whenever they find us, they will kill us.
Yeah.
So it was something unbelievable that we think that they are unbelievably good, but also they are savage or they will kill us. But now at least we are talking about something, okay, maybe all those ideas are wrong. Maybe they are not like killers. Maybe we can't see them even. Maybe there is something on Mars, but as you said, for example, they're a kind of bacteria or something, so we can't see them.
Maybe we are worse than them.
Yeah, probably we are.
I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we're worse than them. Because we have done and we are doing and we will keep doing many, many horrible things, as it has been proven many, many times. Speaking of which, not many people are aware of what the situation is like in Egypt. In many senses, economically, politically, sociologically.
And also history.
And historically as well. Yeah, definitely.
We just know pyramids about Egypt, not...
Okay.
How do you feel? First of all, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about, like, so let me give you an example. For us, since we're from Iran, it's really tough these days to be from Iran.
Yeah.
Especially given the dark and horrible last 40 years that have, been ruled by these demonic beings, humans, I mean, but in a very demonic and very dark clothing, skinned as sheeps, but actually wolves inside, and they have basically changed the picture of Iran in almost every human being's eyes and mind.
I
around
also
the
want.
world.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I also want to add something. Iran, it was one of the, or we can say it was the most powerful and the biggest empires, one of the most biggest and powerful empires in the history. That is tougher actually. That is more hard to believe. As you asking me, how do you feel? Actually, I feel proud, but at the same time I feel sad for what we came up with today. It's not easy. One day we were very powerful, we were very civilized, we had everything, and now look at us now. And luckily I'm in this stage.
Walk through us to that. Look at us.
Look at us.
I mean, like when was those good days? When were those good days? Start from then.
7,000 years ago.
When did Egypt really go down? I mean, when was the downfall of Egypt?
Okay, the history of Egypt is always full of by ups and downs. There are always conquerors due to it's literally in the middle of the world. It links Asia with Africa, and at the same time it's near to Europe with the sea. So it was, continuously attacked by conquerors, and every time we take our freedom, there comes another conqueror, and we say hello. Happy birthday. So actually there is also a strange relation between the Egyptians and the conquerors. They at first they don't say no. They say hello. Welcome to Egypt. And after that things get worse and worse and worse, and then people get pissed off, and then they get the shit out of that conqueror, and then comes another one, and so on. But in the modern age, we can say after 52 there was a revolution, a military revolution, that was by Gamal Abdel Nasser, who said we made a revolution, but actually it was a coup by the military. There was no people who participated in that revolution. It wasn't by the people. Anyway, we had a different system. It was like a hierarchy system, or a king of Egypt, and after that maybe his relatives or his friends comes after him. Anyway, things got very worse actually after this, I don't know what to say, revolution or a coup.
After the coup.
After the coup,
things got worse.
Let's
How
say
are they?
revolution.
So I assume even before the coup, things weren't the best, right?
Actually, economically, like one Egyptian pound was higher than the American dollar. It made like $2 maybe, about something
That's
like
insane, isn't it?
Yeah, but the problem was that the English authorities were always interfering with the Egyptian authorities. Like, you have to do this, you have to be like this, and the military didn't like the case to be like that, because we were owned by the English people, or by the English authorities.
Yeah.
They had to choose our Not the president, not the king, the people after the king, the governor, you know.
People who
were chosen by the English authorities,
yeah.
That's why actually the coup or the revolution were made. And we also didn't have a good military. It was powered by itself after the revolution. And it was rebuilt from zero, I believe. That's it.
And also, I think your country, I'm not sure, but you had lots of queens. Yeah, I think also the most famous one, Cleopatra.
We had Cleopatra, Hatshepsut, Nefertiti.
I don't think that other countries that number of queens in their history.
Are these considered queens?
But
or something else?
this was in a. Excuse me.
Were these considered queens or like pharaohs or something like that? You know, you call it pharaoh, right?
Yeah, pharaoh.
Pharaoh, okay.
Yeah, the farana or pharaoh means.
Farana is female.
No, farana is the plural for pharaoh.
Okay.
You know? Actually, we used to call farana for the old Egyptians, but recently I heard a new information that is telling that Pharaoh actually are not the old Egyptians. They were some other conquerors, and they called themselves Pharaoh because in Quran they message there is Pharaoh in the Quran, the ruler of Egypt at that time, and they say that no, it wasn't an Egyptian. He was a conqueror who ruled Egypt, and his name was Pharaoh. So for queens, I don't know how many queens did we have, but I don't think it was that much. It can be counted, in your hands.
And so, back to the main question. So, do you get like a heavy amount of discrimination or discriminative behaviors by other people, by foreigners in particular, when you say you're from Egypt? Does it feel like you get discrimination, or there is discrimination just because you're from Egypt? Or does it come with any disadvantage at all, or is it not the case?
Okay, there are two types of people, okay? The first type who recognize Egypt as an Arab country, okay? And he doesn't know anything else about Egypt, okay? He just hates Arabs, okay? So you are an Arab in front of me. So
Yeah.
I don't give any,
Any second thoughts?
yeah, I don't give any second of thoughts
Or any shit.
about I don't know if you are Egyptian or not. I don't care, okay? It becomes a little bit racist, but we get used to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, and there are some other people who hate Arabs, but once I tell them that I'm Egyptian, oh, Egypt, oh, come here, and and he starts to hug me, and actually I find a great welcoming from him. But some other people who, after giving me that great welcome, then they ask me, what language do you speak in Egypt? Then I say Arabic. Oh, you speak Arabic in Egypt? Are you Arab?
Oh my.
So I'm like, actually, recently also some Egyptian people, they don't like to say we are Arabs, because actually we are not Arabs, but we are Arabs, but we are not Arabs.
Yeah.
So they don't like to say that we are Arabs. They just say no, we are Egyptians.
But they speak Arabic.
Yeah,
They speak Arabic.
I don't like these people actually. I prefer to say that I'm an Arab, and I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
At all.
I mean, why should you have a problem with it, right? Sure,
Because
there is propaganda, right?
Mhm.
There's propaganda, and there's well, I mean, what media shows, this Arab did that, this Arab was a terrorist, that Arab that, and but I mean, well, sure, but have you looked at like the other horrible things that other people from other races and other languages have also done? Like, do you ever talk at the same amount about all the Americans who have killed a bunch of children just, like in a blink of an eye in like 5-10 minutes, in a school, and it's happening every week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every month.
Actually, it's not just about terrorism. Like there is this is an Arab, so he is a terrorist. It's not just like this. This is an Arab. He's retarded.
Oh.
They hit women. They don't respect their family. They, there is a lot of stuff. They eat with their hands.
Which is, by the way, really fun.
Everyone who I invited my Turkish friends to my home before, and they were like, "Oh, are we going to eat with our hands?"
We've heard that too. Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, they are offending the culture of being an Arab, okay? Because they always say, "Oh, look at the Arabs. Women are recently getting to ride cars, are allowed to get to ride a car." Actually, you cannot dream of, I can say, 1/3 or maybe 1/1000 of the life that woman lives. She lives a luxurious life that you can never dream of.
Yeah.
She has her own driver before that. Okay. Yeah. When she wants to go anywhere, someone shall drive her to the place that she wants to go. It's not like this. It's not about what people think.
Yeah.
People say that they eat with their hands. Come on, is it to be more civilized to eat with the spoon? If it okay, I agree with you. For you, it's maybe disgusting, but in China they eat insects. It's disgusting also for us. So it's just about the culture. People from different culture, it's disgusting for you. It shouldn't be disgusting for me too. That's it.
The problem that we have in this topic, I believe it's because of our governments. Like if we are saying that, okay, Saddam from Iraq was a bad guy, okay, accept it, but we can't say Iraqi people are bad because of Saddam. And it is the same thing that we don't call German people bad people because of Hitler. We don't consider American people bad people because of Hiroshima. Or like Stalin, or I don't know, whatever. But the problem is our government don't want to control the media. And also they are happy with it. Because if the media changes, and if we have more foreigner people in our country, so the culture, the perspective of the people will change. And then Egyptian people, Iranian people, Turkish people, Iraqi people, and blah blah, they will ask more. And the government don't want those extra questions and requests. So they don't want to change anything. Unless we make our governments change the strategy.
Actually,
and I believe they don't want to do it again, then we have to change the government somehow. As it happened a lot in this story. And I think now it's our turn to change everything in third world countries. Because that's enough. Because the new generation, the generation of 1990s, and after that 2000s, they know more, they ask more, and they will change everything, I believe.
Actually, I was talking about the soft power.
Sorry. Thank you.
Did they call it the soft power? Do they call it the soft power?
What?
The media.
Oh.
Yeah. like controlling people through their thoughts and ideologies. Yeah, you are true. But I don't think we are effective enough to do this. Maybe the next generations, when we teach this to our children, as generation after generation after generation, maybe we will be able to do that. But at this time, I don't think we can do something at the moment.
Okay, but that's
sorry.
that's the thing that we are changing. Actually, we are preparing the next generation. We are, it's been the situation in Iran. It's been really bad in the few months, and I was thinking about it. How did it happen? And the date of Iran is different now. In Iran, the calendar shows 1402 or 2, I think.
Two.
So we have, for example, my father is a generation of 50s.
Oh.
1350. Then after that, we have 60s. In 60s, people, when they went to university, they started changing the frame of family. So if your father says something which is wrong, you are allowed to say that you are not right.
But
Then
it wasn't
after-
the same in the 50s. Like,
Yeah.
the 50s children would not dare, like, say anything to their parents. Like, they would not dare refute their parents' ideas or to challenge their ideas. They would just have to accept it.
So 60s changed that family frames, family limits. I'm sorry. Then 70s, which is Sam and me, we started changing the teachers, bosses, and like some older people who are in charge of some places. And then after that, which is my sister's generation, they started changing the street. Now in a bigger
Scale.
then we are talking about lots of countries in this area. And not just in this area, in lots of countries, even some countries in Europe. For example, I don't know, Macedonia. Or in East Asia, for example, North Korea or Malaysia, Philippines, blah, blah. So I think we are changing. We are going to start a new era in the world. So in that new world, the Europe countries and America and Canada won't be the first world countries and we third world countries. So we will change it. So we will make an equal thing, equal education. So they can't overuse our materials, our thoughts, our genius people, and blah blah.
By the way, I have got information for you by mentioning the first and the third world country. Of course, you know that there is no second world countries. This is to show you the gap between there is a gap between the first world countries and the third world. I just recently learned this from.
I just learned it now. I didn't know that we don't. I never probed it, actually. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
There is no second world countries.
They try to be kind, though. They say, a lot of people, they try to be kind and not say third world countries. They say developing countries.
Developed countries.
But-
Yeah.
Okay, that's the gap. Actually, that's the gap. The first world countries are the developed countries.
Yeah.
The second world countries are developing countries, and the third world countries
no,
are
no.
those. No,
No.
I'm not talking about the words. I'm talking about the idea of the words.
Okay.
So the third world countries, which is, for example, my country, is a country which is not developing. It's there and getting worse. So in the word, we don't have that category. But in the idea, actually, we have 3 parts: developed countries, developing, and getting worse countries.
And so, speaking of generations, how is the new gen, like the young generation in Egypt, doing? Like, have they changed like dramatically compared to your generation, or do you see not so much change?
Okay. So the new generations, actually, I can see myself in the new generations, of course, but there is a lot of differences in the technologies and stuff like this. But our generations witnessed something that will not happen in the next generation, which was the the 2011 revolution, the Egyptian revolution. After this, everything changed in Egypt.
Can you also tell us something about that revolution?
Okay, so
What was before it and what was after it?
okay, so we started by Gamal Abdel Nasser, who made a coup or a revolution to the king of Egypt and Malik, the king Farouk. And after that came Sadat, who had during the age of Abdel Nasser, we had a war with Israel. I don't know if you know.
I mean, my question is: was it like king and then president, or both?
It was when Gamal Abdel Nasser came. He changed the system to presidency. Okay.
Wait, what about this war with Israel?
With Israel, during Gamal Abdel Nasser, we had a war with Israel, and
Where, when, how, why?
Actually, during this time, Israel wanted. It was a new country, okay, supported by America, and they wanted to take Sinai from Egypt. You know, they wanted to, occupy the Middle East, a huge part in the Middle East.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Egypt.
And they actually fucked us in 6 days. Okay, we were fucked in this war, and it was like 67, I believe. Yeah, 67. And after that,
1967.
1967,
Wow.
yes. And after that, in 1973, we had another war, and with Sadat, Muhammad Anwar Sadat, and we actually fucked them back and took our land again. Actually, we took part of it in 1973, and after that, by negotiations and the international relations and the international courts, we had the rest of our land, which is Sinai. It's called Sinai. Okay, it's in the north of Egypt. Anyway, our war with Israel was finished in 1981 or 1978, something like that. We had a peace with them, a peace contract with them. And after that, people was angry at Muhammad Anwar Sadat because he would make a peace with the Zionists, and they actually assassinated him by the people, by some terrorists in Egypt. Yeah, because they didn't want peace. We defeated them. We shouldn't make peace with them. So after that came Muhammad Hosni Mubarak.
That's the name
famous
we know.
one.
That's the name we all know.
Yeah, it was from 81 to 2011. 30 years,
Okay.
Total 30 years.
Yeah.
And before that, there was no any elections in Egypt, but maybe after 10 years or 20 years, he started to make up elections. But elections.
Yeah. Dictator type elections.
Yeah, dictator
North
type
Korea.
election. Yeah. North Korea. Yeah.
How's the tea, by the way? Do you like the taste? It's like,
Yeah, totally awesome. I like it.
sure.
I haven't tried it before, but it's really nice.
Yeah, I like the taste. I like the taste.
Yeah, it's
That
really
is
good.
not Turkish
Thank you.
tea.
Yeah.
by the
Yeah,
way.
I know. He told me that it's a cinnamon.
Yeah, cinnamon
cigarette.
with some Iranian hard candy and Iranian tea.
Candy.
Hard,
Nabot.
hard candy. It's called nabot. Yeah.
Okay, I think we have it in Egypt.
You probably might. You
Ah.
might, yeah.
So, everything was corrupted in Egypt during the 30 years of Muhammad Hosni Mubarak, and no one was allowed to speak, no one was allowed to do anything.
Welcome to Turkey.
Yeah. No, it's worse.
Worse, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure it was worse. Yeah.
More high levels you
Yeah.
cannot imagine. Anyway, until there was a young guy who was killed by the policeman, whose name was Khalid Said. And after that, he was killed because I don't remember why, but he was killed in a bad way, And then they said that he a drug dealer or something like this.
Same shit every.
Yeah.
Like the same thing. Yeah. I mean, it's the same in Iran today.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep on. Sorry.
Anyway, people on social media social media was something new in Egypt in that time. So the government wasn't following it or had no idea about it. So on social media, people were asking, what happened to Khaled Said? And we want his rights. Khaled Said should has his rights back. And so people like decided to make a protest, and one after another, things got escalated. I don't know. I'm like forgot everything in front of that. I became very nervous. We're having a nice chat, actually.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm still nervous. I forgot everything. Anyway, everything got escalated, and from the rights of Khaled Said till the system needs to be changed. We need to change the system. The system should fall.
Yeah.
And then, actually, I was at the age of 15, I believe, at that time. 14, 15, something like that. And I didn't care much about the revolution. I was just caring about the programs, my TV programs. I cannot watch them anymore because, everyone is no longer the whole programs were stopped, actually.
Was it in sign of protest? Like, were they protesting?
Yeah.
In that way? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not a protest in that way. Everyone wants to know only news. You can only see news on the television. Okay? There are no any entertainment programs.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All the entertainment programs were stopped.
Yeah.
And
how were all the news programs and news anchors and everyone siding the government? Were they with the government, or were there like channels that were not with the government?
No one was against the government.
No one was against the government.
Yeah.
Wow.
All of them were with the government. And the funny part, before the declaration of Hosni Mubarak that he will leave, maybe 1 minute before it, everyone would say that those protesters are treasons. They are, they take money from
Spies.
America. Yeah,
they're taking money from Israel, America.
Yeah. And this is stuff.
Sounds familiar,
I'm sorry, I want to say something.
Yeah.
I hope by the time that people are listening to this episode, the revolution of Iran is done.
Will they?
But if not, just pay attention. 1 minute before it, no one could believe it.
Yeah, to the Iranian people, please. It is the same thing in every country. It just gets repeated and repeated and repeated, okay? The history repeats itself. Nothing changes. The same ideologies. Anyway, 1 minute after the declaration of Muhammad Hosni Mubarak, oh, congratulations, happy birthday! The whole country, happy birthday! This was our future. You made it, guys. Thankfully, he's down. Hosni Mubarak is down. The whole media is like this. Hosni Mubarak is down. You made it. We made it, actually. They say we made it. Finally, we made it.
Yeah.
And actually, all of this affected our ideas or our horizons or our perspective. I can say perspective. Our perspectives change it a lot since then, because you are seeing different things. You are seeing something that you can never imagine. The one and only Hosni Mubarak is now down, and now everyone hates him. He is a dictator. The one who all of them asked for him to stay on the media, of course, not in the streets. So we had
So you were going to talk about the new generations after 2011, and also I want to add another question. So how's the situation now after like 12 years? How's the democracy situation in Egypt, and also how's the situation of people in the country?
Actually, I would like to continue a little part.
Sure.
Because after the revolution of 2011, everyone in Egypt, we had that spirit of, okay, finally we have our country. We control it, not anyone else. It's ours, not them. And everyone would participate in the elections. We had true elections in 2012, and everyone believed that this country would change. Previously, we had hope. Okay, we had hope again. And after that, Muslim Brotherhoods and again another revolution in 2013, and then came El-Sisi, and after 10 years, there is no hope. We cannot even make another revolution.
Actually, they stole your revolution, as far as I know.
Totally, yes. Actually, we believe that. But after that, when you look at it from another side, with another point of view, actually, we didn't do nothing. In 2011, we are not the ones who get rid of Mubarak. It wasn't us. It was the military who forced him to go, actually. That is just our thoughts right now. We cannot, we don't have a proof for it, but it's more logical now. We can see it now. Even in 2013, it was all planned by the military. Morsi? Yeah, Morsi should go. And they made up some big problems, like in the petrol stations, and the problem in the gas and the electricity and everywhere. All of this stuff were made up by the military, just to force people to go to the streets. We can see it now, And now, after 10 years or after 12 years, everyone is disappointed. And I actually told you before this idea, the problem in 2011, we didn't have a clear plan,
A leader.
Yeah, we didn't have a leader. There was no leader for this revolution, actually. There is no plan, We just asked the system to go down. Okay.
So what is
the system? The system is down.
Now what?
Now what? What shall we do?
There is a problem that we have in new era of dictators. There is no party in the countries. Like, for example, in 2011, if you had your parties, the country would be better. But since the dictator killed all the parties, so military were able to take the control of the revolution and change it to somewhere that they wanted. But having a leader, there is a few revolutions in the history that happened without leader, with people, and then it was good. I think we had one or two in South America, but it's definitely exception. It is something really, really difficult, especially in the area of Earth that we are living, because our countries are full of everything. So everyone wants to take something from the country. So these revolutions in our countries without leader and without parties, it seems impossible. So we need a leader, at least till the time that we have a good kind of, I don't know,
team of people who would take control of the important things in the country.
Yeah.
Actually, the problem also in Egypt, that he believes that he's doing the right thing. Like, I have the power, I prevent anyone from speaking, and this is the right thing, because the country cannot stand this. The country would fall if anyone speaks. We cannot have an opposite voices. We cannot have it. There is no room for it. We cannot afford the consequences of it.
What are the consequences? What, because you said things became worse after 2011 in like as in, you know, having an opposing voice and objecting to ideas. Like, what are the consequences if you oppose to the system that exists today?
Do you mean the consequences?
Is it imprisonment? Is it like really long imprisonment? Is it execution? Is it casting away? You know, is it sending people to exile?
All of them. Like, you can lose your family, you can be imprisoned, and in prison, actually, you cannot imagine what will happen to you in prison. That is worse. You know, it's not just a prison. You know?
There is.
It's like you are a traitor.
Yeah.
You are a traitor to your country or to your government.
That's how they show it, right?
Yeah.
That they make everything seem like that. They would say, yeah, he was a spy. He was getting money from Israel and America. He's a traitor. He doesn't love his country.
All of it under the law. You know, when you look at why he's in prison, look at his accusations. He is a traitor. Traitor for what? Traitor for for Hamas. Seriously, it's silly accusations.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
even if you like tweet in social media or post in social media.
Most of them. Yeah, sure. Like if we are going to post this or put this on social media in Egypt, and they know about me, when I go to Egypt, they will take me.
Okay, I'll block Egypt. I think it's an option on YouTube.
No, it's not about. Just don't say my name.
Yeah.
So I think it is common in your country also that people use fake IDs and fake names on social media accounts.
Yeah, sure. We call them committees. You know, they are known actually. Ligan, we say the Lijan. You know. There are some people there are some influencers who usually make videos, and really effective videos, about Sisi and the government and the accomplishments, the big accomplishments of Sisi, and they never say a bad word for him. Like, if you are a true YouTuber, or if you are a true person, you would be, if there is something bad, he would judge him. If there is something good, he would praise him. Not praising him all of the time, even in the bad decisions.
It is again something from government that these influencers, if we may call them, are allowed to work and make money if they are with the government.
Yeah, sure.
I understand it because we have the same thing. I understand it because we have it in the country that we are living now. I understand it because we have friends from other countries also. It is the same. Like, we are calling the countries Egypt, Iran, Turkey, Iraq, blah, blah. But the system is same.
Yeah.
Even if one country is republic or kingdom or, but the system is same. So they are working in different kind of flags and names, but they're same.
Yeah.
So you are not allowed to say anything on social media. You are not allowed to say anything in the streets. You are not allowed to teach your children in the way you want. You are not allowed to do. No way you can't. So if you are with me, you are with me. If you are not with me, then you are the enemy of the country.
Actually, it's not just, to be honest, they don't take anyone who speaks freely. They just take the influencers, There are many people who were arrested in Egypt due to a post on the Facebook or on Instagram. And another one who escaped from Egypt to another country due to some videos he made in Egypt, and not essentially judging the Sisi or his government. Actually, if you are praise the Muslim Brotherhood, or say you shouldn't treat them like this, you may get arrested.
Can you talk a little bit about the Brotherhood? Can you explain what they are, who they are?
And also, do you believe in it?
I don't believe in it. I'm not a member. I'm one of that people who is against them. Okay, I don't support them anyway. But the problem is the Muslim Brotherhood is, a jama'ah, a group of people, or an ideology, was made by a man who's called Hassan al-Banna, the establisher of this group. His goals actually
Where was he from?
In Egypt. He was Egyptian.
So the ideology of Muslim Brotherhood came from Egypt.
The Muslim Brotherhood, yes.
Because
I don't know if they are the same as the Muslim Brotherhood in the other countries. I know that they are related, but if they are the same or not, I don't know. But somehow they are related.
Yeah, they are talking about the same ideology. That Islamic countries are
Islamic
brothers,
countries,
and we are one, and the other countries in other part of the world, they are our enemies. So we have to help each other to spread Islam and help Mehdi to come and fuck everyone.
The same shit. It's totally the same. They have like more political goals rather than Islamic goals or religious goals. They want to participate also in politics. They want to have their own space in politics, and they want to have like their own system, not just to participate in politics. No, they wanna how to say,
make change, or
they want to make a change in the infrastructure of the politics.
What kind of changes?
Not to be a presidency, to be Khalifa and things like this. Yeah, sure.
Woo! To go back to the Khalifa times.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They are making the groups to get more powerful, so they could fight against European countries. All united that we have easier. So Iran alone is shit. But when Iran makes a group with Lebanon, with Egypt, with Afghanistan, with Pakistan, with United Arabs, and blah blah, then maybe they are able to fight against European countries, United States. So they are just trying to get more powerful, so they can do whatever they want. That's the reason that we have different kind of terroristic groups in the area. So they are trying to make something more powerful, so they are able to stand against other countries.
Yeah, definitely, yes. And also what helps them with this idea that they have the power in the streets, people love them because they use religion. In Egypt, when you say religion, Allah, qala Rasul, which means Allah says and Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, oh, you are religious, I love you. Okay, I follow you. Just tell me anything and I will do it.
Brotherhood.
Yeah, actually yes. And not also because of this, because they also provide poor people with food, health care, education, free education, everything on the ground. They do it, and they do it for free,
which by itself is not bad.
It's not bad, but what is the aim of it?
Right,
what is behind
that's
it?
the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. People don't understand it.
Yeah,
that is how it started.
Yeah.
Okay, and it continued somehow, like recently, like for Morsi. Of course, Morsi's targets were not to make the Khalifa a country. It's not. It wasn't like this, but at least to make the Muslim Brotherhoods or fully charged of the has the full charge of Egypt. You know. So that was the problem with the Muslim Brotherhood. Actually, I didn't like him, and most of the people didn't like him, and they were very problematic. But they came with democratic selections at the end of the day.
About the consequences of opposing and being an opposing voice. There's this very infamous prison in Tehran, the capital of Iran, called Evin, the Evin prison, and it's more famous for having probably having like the ratio of smart people that are in there is much higher. Like, I mean, by smart people, let's be a bit more correct and precise. Important people who could be very influential. Like each single one of them could be influential somehow. Engineers, top-notch engineers. Doctors, top-notch doctors. Journalists, top-notch journalists. Does that sound familiar?
Very familiar. That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah.
Because in Egypt also, most of the people who are in prisons, they are engineers and doctors. And they usually accuse them by participating in terrorism actions or belonging to
terroristic groups.
Yeah, like Muslim Brotherhoods, which, by the way, may in some cases true.
Sure.
But
not all of them.
Not all of them, of course.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they are also engineers. Most of them.
Yeah.
And is there like an infamous prison in Egypt as well that has the highest amount of like influential people?
No, I have no idea. About it. Maybe, I don't know.
I see. So back to the generation thing. So how different is the generation today, the young generation? What are the biggest differences between them and you? I mean, you did mention the one about the revolution 2011, but like personality-wise, characteristically, generally, of course, we can't speak in specific about every one of them, but generally, the zeitgeist of the generation today, the younger generation, how different is it?
The younger generation, women, like people who were born after 2000.
Yeah, I see. Actually, you can see it on the TikToks and stuff like this. The same shit everywhere. Yeah, I don't know if you want me to explain more, but it's clear, I think.
At least I had the same kind of idea about the general of the next generation that I call them next generation.
In Iran.
Even if they are like 5 years or even 4 years younger than me. But they are the next generation because I was the last year of people who started their lives by playing football in the streets. I am the last year of those kind of things. But, I mean, according to the city, that could be different. Like, for example, I'm not sure about Sam, but, for example, I am 96. In Tehran, I can say I was the last group of children who played in the street. But in other cities, it could be different. But after 2000, because of the technology that they had, because of the computer, phone, because of their parents, because some of the parents are late 50s in Iran's calendar or early 60s. So they started to learn something different. So they are different. So 5 months ago, before Mahsa Amini's thing in Iran, that she was killed by IRGC and Islamic Republic, I thought that, okay, the new generation, they are fully empty in their minds. They have no idea about their lives. They just want to have fun and etc. But now I see that, wow, the technology that they used made them so wise, I can say.
Aware.
Even if they are using TikTok for some, like, I don't know, for example, Wednesday's dance, but still they know politics more than our fathers. If we are talking about, like, I don't know, science, even if they are following bullshit things on Instagram, but they are definitely better than lots of people from like the previous generations. Are you talking about the same thing that you see them on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter, that they're talking about some, we think that maybe they are empty ideas, but actually they are wise? Or no, you think that they are not wise and they have no idea about life?
Actually, I just can see that they are more disappointed than us, but I cannot see them as more aware than us. I cannot see that they are more wise than our generation. Yeah, I can see.
I mean, not our generation, but our like parents' generation.
Yeah, previous. I mean the previous generations. But I said our generation because our generation witnessed something that made him more wise and aware. Not wise. Let me self-aware. More than the previous generations. Because the previous generations still today, they are still holding to their own ideas, to the old ideas, the old school way, that this country should be ruled by a militarian who would fuck everyone, who would open his mouth, and so on. The old people are still thinking this way after two revolutions.
They're still afraid.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they are still the same way because when they grew up or they were brought up like this in this way, they know any other idea. Okay, they don't know any other way. That's how we grew up, and this is how you also should be. But for the Z generation, as I told you, after things in 2013, everything changed again and became worse than before, even 2011. And everyone now is disappointed. I can see this in the generation. They don't know what to do. I wouldn't say we had choices more than, but yeah, we can say it. Yeah, why not? We had more choices than them. We had like more opportunities to improve ourselves or things, but now they don't have any chance. And yes, mindly they are more empty now, because when the country makes you only think about how to get money or how to eat or how to drink, how to marry, of course your mind will be empty. What will you think about? Nothing, actually.
But so are they less afraid, or are they as afraid of the previous generations?
Nothing to be afraid about anymore.
I see.
Nothing, actually.
You mentioned marrying. I have a question. Is it legal to marry for boys and girls under age of 18 in your country?
No.
Because in Iran it is legal, and people actually...
Wait, it's legal in every city?
Like in the laws of the country, it is not illegal. It's not about city. In Iran, it's not like America or Germany. There is no states. So people are allowed to marry under the age of 18.
I believe under some circumstances, like there are some conditions that you have to fulfill to be able to marry under the age of 18. I believe it this way.
I don't think that there is such a thing in Iran.
Because I also remember one of my relatives, a girl who was married at the age of 15 or 16 or something like that, and it was maybe 10 years ago or something like that. So I think it's under some circumstances, under some conditions, yeah, you can do it. Like your father and your mother should write something like that, I believe.
Okay, but it doesn't change the fact. I don't know if there is such a thing in Iran or not, but it doesn't change the fact that marrying under the age of 18, even if your fucking father or mother accept it, it's not something that we can accept it. 15.
You know, I will tell you something. I don't look at the age. Like, I know people in Kazakhstan, most of them marry at 19 and 18. And this is a small age, actually. They are very young to marry at 19 or 18 years old.
Yeah, I know. Like,
it's still young, you know?
It is young, yeah. And I don't understand it. Like, for example, if I were the ruler of a country, I would say under the age of 21 at least, marrying is not allowed.
No, it shouldn't be like this. I don't agree with you totally. Why? Because it differs from an environment to another environment, okay? Like, in the old days, in the history, you know, everyone was married at
10, 11.
9.
10 and 11
Okay,
and
but
12.
what was the purpose of the marriage?
Wait, and at the age of 18, there were rulers and conquerors, you know? It just due to the civilization that we have made, we made this to ourselves. Actually, the right age to marry is
never.
no, actually, is the age of maturity. When you become mature, you should marry, actually.
Okay, but how could you frame it?
This is due to the civilization that we have made.
No, I mean, you say the maturity can allow someone to marry. Okay, so how can we understand it? One person, like, for example,
sexually mature.
You mean
sexually?
Sexually mature.
But I'm talking about the mind and brain.
This is the mind and the brain. Yeah, before, I would say that before, in the old days, like, children in 9 and 10 years old, they would make 3 of you. Okay,
but they used to marry because of having more children, and the second, their purpose of life was just finding food, feeding their children, nothing more. But we are living in another kind of world that each person can have a specific goal of life.
And that is what I'm talking about, that we are in another world. This is another environment. It should differ from an environment to another. Like, in some countries and some cities, they don't need all of this shit, you know. Already the boys at the age of maybe 13, 14, 15, they go and work, and they can have the responsibility to have a house. Maybe in some places, you know.
What if we make an education system that they have to learn and think about their lives, and give them the opportunity to think more than just feeding their children? I mean, for me, it is not fair. Okay, we are talking about a village.
Okay.
The goal of all the people is just finding money, farming, and so on. Okay. But maybe we have a person who could change the, I don't know, engineering. But because of their responsibilities of the village, he or she is not allowed to do that. Because he or she marries at the age of 14, 15.
Okay. And so what is the purpose of education or of becoming an engineer that you are talking about? What is the purpose of it?
The purpose of education is that finding, like, helping the people finding their thing. If we call it a spark or something. All the people in a village, they are not responsible to farm. It's like, for example, if, for example, we add feminism to this topic, all the women all over the world, they don't have to cook or having children or blah, blah, blah, blah. Each person should think and choose something for their lives. So the education, the education is not just mathematics, physics. The education is giving opportunity to people to think and find a way for themselves.
What I mean, after becoming an engineer, what will he what will be his target? Actually, to marry and to get food and to care for his family. It's the same thing.
It is
actually.
not necessary to marry.
But the difference is, does the society that I live in need this kind of education or not? Like, if I live in a village and I don't need engineers, what is the purpose of educating and getting engineers? Because at the end of the day, when you become an engineer, you are going also seek for money. You are going to seek for money and to provide food to your family.
Isn't it the thing that government wants? Like, I'm trying to see the word from the people, not from the government. Yes, government needs engineers to make something for the country and say that, okay, we did it. But I'm seeing the word from one person's perspective that has lots of potentials in different things, but because of the frames that the government, the regime, the society, the parents, blah, blah, blah, blah, put, he or she can't do something more. And we are losing actually a chance of, I don't know, for example, traveling in time earlier. So it is not fair. We are putting all the people in the same path. Because
actually, that's what you are doing.
Because
that's what you are saying.
Because we want to fit the government so they get more powerful.
It's the same thing, actually. Whatever you will do, like educating is also, you are getting a lot of people, okay, and you are putting them in the same place, and you are teaching them that the Mississippi River ends at the Mexican Gulf, or
Can I explain my education?
Yeah, I know. I'm just giving an example. Okay. Anyway, I want also to explain something for you. You said that from your perspective, you see that maybe educating may be a better chance for people to change their lives, or we have more chances to be more developed earlier and things like that. But this is from your perspective. What if not? Like, what if education is not something for everyone? Okay, I know everyone should be educated, okay, but what if there are some people who don't want to?
Yeah, no, I actually, I'd like to add something here exactly about what you said. And I think you, not you, but Amir, you've maybe forgotten the fact. Well, before I say this, let me give you an example. And well, in the previous episode, I also gave a chess example, but it makes perfect sense. Most of the people that I ask, who I ask, like, do you play chess, or do you like chess? Have you ever played chess? Most of the answers are, well, either, yeah, I used to play when I was in elementary school, then I stopped, or it's just no. And when you say why, when you ask why, what do they say? What do you think they say?
For me?
No, generally, the people who don't play chess or don't like to play chess, what do they say? Why don't they like chess, or why don't they play chess?
Because
they don't know.
You have to think a lot.
Exactly. They don't think. Okay. They don't like to think too much. There is this. This is what I want to say exactly. Goes along the lines of what you're saying, and it's that, well, yes, that is very true that education is actually not for everyone. A, B, not everybody is actually interested in knowing so much. C, not everybody is interested in pursuing anything more than what actually exists essentially in life, which is growing, which is paving a path to a more comfortable like old life or your last years on this earth, and mating, and hence having children, and then seeing your children grow up. And actually a lot of people have this as the basis of their mindset from a very young age. And when they even grow up and they get into their 20s, that is the main goal of their life. That is the main purpose of their life. Not that they that this thought has been imposed on them. And if we talk about imposing, well, as you said exactly, education is also imposing. It's also forcing a way of thought on people, and you can't really find a way out. It's just like not doing it. It's just like the other argument that you were trying to have, Amir, which is imposing this mindset of making money and providing, and then having a family and providing for their family and getting a better life. Both of them are forcing. But the reality is many people actually don't need it, don't want it. And their main life purpose, their main purpose is to provide for their family, to have a family, first of all, to find either a husband or a wife, to have children, and that's it. And to just see this grow and see their own life slowly going down and getting older and older, and then eventually finding themselves, hopefully, in a happy 65, happy 70, happy 75, and then getting close to death. Like, that is the reality. I don't think I don't think you could really disagree that many people don't actually want to pursue much. They don't want to ever be a big painter. They don't need to be a big painter. They don't want to be a big photographer or anything like that. Sure, yeah, people should be educated. Everybody should be educated to some extent, I guess. And it could change from environment to environment, even maybe.
But you cannot also force them to be educated.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I agree with you about that. Yeah.
Can I? First of all, that lack of thought that people have, again, I believe that it's from government, from people, from the media, from blah, blah, blah, blah. So they make people not to think, so they could be easier controlled. Second, by education, as I said, I don't mean mathematics, I don't mean physics, I don't mean forcing people to be educated. I mean giving the people the chance to choose being educated or not. The problem is, in lots of cases, people are not educated because they didn't have the chance. I don't want everyone to be educated in my ideology. But I think we should give the opportunity to everyone. Like, for example, we have a kid who is 4 years old. We have to check if he or she is interested in ball, theater, this one, that one. And if that person, that kid, that teenager, that whatever, is not interested in anything, then okay, then marry. But you choose it. That's the meaning of the definition of education for me. Lots of people pick away, decide something without knowing it. By education, I mean helping people to choose something. That's the meaning of education for me. I don't want to force people to be educated.
Yeah, okay, I understand you right now. Actually, then we are on the same line then.
We're on the same line then.
Yeah. But we were talking about the fact that, there are some people who are getting married at the age of under 18 in some cities or stuff like this. What I was trying to say, it may be okay. It's not that bad, okay? That's what I was trying to say. And if there is no education in a place, it's okay. It's not that bad also. Because, I understand you now. But I would also add something for what Sam said. That actually the purpose of our life here, what is the purpose of our life?
That's a big question.
Not in a religious way.
I know mine. I know mine.
Okay.
I can answer the question from my perspective. I have a limited time on this earth. I was nothing, I will be nothing. And the time that I have it, and I call it miracle, I'm here just to experience whatever I like.
No, I'm not speaking about you. I'm speaking about the human beings. What is the purpose of human beings? What do they do? They're the same as
other animals.
Other animals to survive on this planet. Yeah, that is the purpose of it. So what we are trying to do in this life, that we are trying to survive all of these civilizations and all of this stuff that we have made is just some things to help us to survive, to marry and reproduce and provide them with food and blah blah blah till they grew up and do the same cycle. So let's just not forget that our purpose is to survive. That's it.
Yeah. Of course, it is like these few topics, these few like subjects, and the last one that you just mentioned is definitely are definitely some of the most complex subjects when you dive when you dive deep down. Yeah. And I'm sure that there would be other opposing thoughts and other opposing ideologies that would be very challenging, right? It would be very challenging, even when you completely oppose the opposing ideology. Still, it would be very challenging, and it would take a quite some thought to be able to refute it, or to be able to stay on the same frame that you were before. But a swing to a different, very different subject.
Okay.
Is about school.
School.
I totally forgot what you're doing at school. I'm not sure if I ever asked you.
I think I have told you before. I don't remember actually, but anyway.
Is it engineering?
Yeah, it's engineering. Oh.
Every Egyptian.
The funny part that we were talking about engineering before.
Yeah. What is it exactly that you're studying?
It's mining engineering. Okay, so what we do that we find a mine, or we find a mineral. Okay, we look for a mineral, and here comes the prospecting part. And after we find the mineral, we do the evaluation part, and after the evaluation we decide if we are going to take it or not. Then we do the development part, that we prepare the process for extracting that mineral. Like we open shafts and we open some roads and stuff like this to take that mineral out. And at the end come the exploitation part, that we take that mineral out of that ground.
Are you on your last year right now, or?
I am in my third year.
Okay, all right. Why did you choose this subject?
It chose me.
That's a very
actually I wanted
answer.
to study in Otto because it is one of the highest schools in Turkey.
Yeah.
So when I asked my friends, I want to study in Otto, and they already study in here, they told me you need a SAT certificate, which is higher than 1500.
The SAT, yeah. Whoa, you need a 1500 SAT
for computer engineering.
For computer engineering.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got 1290. 1290.
I see.
Okay. So my grade was just got me to mining department, and actually I'm satisfying. Like, I'm doing good.
What do you think about this subject? What are your thoughts on it?
It's easy, I think. It's not that hard. They are just trying to make it harder for us because we are in auto.
Which part of this subject, this field rather, is compelling and intriguing for you, and what are you most interested about?
Okay, there are mainly 3 or 4 parts, or 3 concentrations in this department. Underground mining and surface mining and mineral processing. The underground mining, from its name, you mine the minerals under the ground, and surface mine, you don't need to go so much deep.
Yeah.
You only take some overburden from the surface, and then you make an open pit or an open mine that is on the surface of the ground, and then the mineral processes the one that comes after all of these, that when you take the mineral, we do some processing to it to increase its grade, because it has grades, like for example, extracting gold. Okay, for gold, actually, to have 10 grams of gold, maybe you will need a ton to have 10 grams of gold. Okay.
Is that a fact? Like, is that possible?
Yeah. It's the grade even is part per million. Like, there are 1 or 10 parts per million parts. Like, for every the molecules or the atoms.
Sure.
For every million molecule in this sample, there is only 1 molecule or 1 atom of gold.
Wow.
Okay. Because there are a lot of impurities. That's why gold is very expensive, and even when you are working in a gold mine, you cannot steal gold. You will do nothing with it. So anyway, here comes the mineral processing process, that you get out the rock and you extract the mineral from the rock. Actually, I don't know, any of these got my attention. I just leaving it to, I don't know, I would see later how would I go, I don't know. But actually I'm interested in underground mining because they get higher salaries, because of course not everyone is more dangerous. And there are a lot of accidents, especially in Turkey, for that people who work in underground mining, because the safety factor is a little bit low. It's only high in Canada and Australia, actually.
Yeah, no surprise.
Yeah. So that's it.
How has Turkey been? Like, what kind of experience has it been to be studying in Turkey and to be living in Turkey for the past few years?
Actually, it was a great experience. I have learned a lot, and to be honest, of course there are some bad situations or some good times and bad times, but I haven't seen much bad. Like, if I had the chance to go back and start it over again, of course I would choose to come to Turkey again. Of course I have met some racist and bad people, but I also have met some great people in here, and either Turkish or foreigners too, or either Egyptians or not. Actually, I have a lot of friends in here in Turkey, from maybe different nationalities. And that is the best part of it, that you meet different people, different cultures. You have really, like, I see that my maturity level became very high.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm the most mature person in here, but I'm just, when I compare myself when I came to Turkey and by now, I can see the difference. Even when I look at some people who are still in Egypt, of my relatives or maybe friends, of course not all of them, I can still see that, are you guys still thinking this way? Like, come on, grow up. So that's what I mean by when I compare myself when I came to to myself when I'm at the moment. So the experience as a whole, it's interesting actually. Like, I have very bad times. I had to work, like, to do many jobs, like in constructions and in some places that I didn't like at all. Like, they were torturing us. But at the end of the way, I'm still proud of myself. Like, I have achieved something that I have never that I can do one day. And like, I see that people that I get to know, I got to know like they love me and we are having good relations, not not relations.
Why are you gay?
I'm not gay. Who said I'm gay?
I see.
That is very lucky, actually.
Yeah.
And even every place that I work in, I have some relations in there. They sometimes keep calling me and they ask me, what do you do? How is your life going? And stuff like this. So that's what I'm proud of, actually.
And so when you go back to Egypt, or if you go to another country, when you go to another country, because I'm sure you will, when they ask you about Turks and Turkey, what would you say?
Totally positive things. I wouldn't say anything.
Go for it. Explain.
Like they are kind, helpful. Maybe they are just curious.
Yeah.
A lot curious.
Yeah.
They want to know everything. Like you cannot have a personal life in Turkey.
As a foreigner, definitely. Yeah.
As a foreigner, and
Privacy doesn't exist.
Yeah. And they wonder, oh, why didn't you tell us? Oh, isn't this my isn't this my privacy? So I'm wondering, actually. Maybe I would talk a lot about the food, about the poor food that we should talk about now.
Yeah.
Actually, before I came to Turkey, I was impressed by the food, the Turkish food, and the Turkish delights and all of this stuff. And after that, when I came here, okay, where is the fucking Turkish food? Where is it? Even when you go to the restaurants, okay, you have your dish. Where is the food? Okay. As today, when we were in the metro, like, what was her name?
Bengisu.
Bengisu. The Adana kebab.
Yeah, I mean, the Turkish cuisine comes a little bit short when it's compared to some other countries.
Yeah.
Cuisines like, I'm sure, like Egypt is a hell of a cuisine, and
yeah,
and like there are so many various like dishes.
Yeah,
it's just very colorful.
Yeah, we have a lot of varieties actually in Egypt.
There's also another thing that we discussed on the metro before.
Yeah, the portions.
Yeah, the portions, man.
Like they tell you the kebab, okay? My problem is the show they do about the dishes they have, like the kebab. You have, like, as I told you before, the kebab, one stick.
3 centimeters.
With some burger and salad, and maybe some ekmek. The ekmek is another level. We will talk it later. The Turkish bread. Anyway, eating kebab or eating meat with burger, actually something like
weird.
Come on, and
nonsense.
You pay like 120, 130 or 150 maybe. I don't know. I don't even care about it. I have never asked you for it. Actually, when someone tells you about the Adana kebab, come on, siktir git lan. You know nothing about kebab. Like we in Egypt, we speak in kilos.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Like, I mean, we were talking about it. When we say kebab, it's like each person gets at least 3 skewers and a big plate of rice with saffron or without saffron, with butter on top of the rice. Oh my goodness, it's like so different. Exactly, in kilos.
I will tell you one more thing. I was working before in a restaurant, okay, and it's just something about weird things in the Turkish food or the Turkish habits in eating food. and every day, not every day, like maybe 3 days or 4 days a week, from 3 to 4 days a week, they make makarna for us, okay? And only makarna, there is nothing else. There's no protein. They don't know protein.
Tomato paste with tomato paste.
With no tomato paste. It's only with
Yogurt.
Yeah. Wait, this is the funny part. Okay. And every day the staff were annoyed about the food. Like they come and ask me, what kind of food do we have today? And I say, makarna. And they say, oh shit, okay. Do we have yogurt today? And I say yes. Oh, thank you, God. Like, seriously?
Does it change?
Okay, I'm eating kebab right now.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like there's so much there's definitely so much to love too about it. But yeah, these are the funny parts of it. Listen, I think we don't want to keep you too long because you also have a busy day ahead of you, and you have to do some stuff at home too. Just one last question I have from you, if Amir doesn't have any other questions. You have any questions for him?
I just want to say that each episode we ask our guests to send us a picture so we can use it for the cover of the episode.
Sure.
So send us a picture, whatever you
We can
want.
take it now, actually.
Whatever you want.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be from us.
It can be
whatever.
any picture you want, any picture that you love.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't have copyright issues.
And also dick or something in it.
Okay, I will think about it.
Yeah, so you can think about it. So the question is, where do you see yourself in the next coming years, in the next few years? What is the goal? What's the purpose? What's going to happen?
To be honest, this is a very tough question,
Yeah.
because I don't have plans for the far future or for the long-term future. I only have for the short term. I do my best right now because I'm 26 right now. I'm going to be 26 actually in 2 or 3 months, and I'm really disappointed by every time I need something, and then what my new lifestyle is: only work and leave the rest for the God, or maybe for the life, if you don't believe in God. Okay. So I work hard on myself to improve my languages, and like I also work one of the ranked students in the university. So I do my best. When I do something, I do it at my best, and I don't know the rest. Okay, you cannot ask me a question like, because I totally have no vision about the future. I cannot say. Do you get my idea?
I do. I totally understand.
Yeah, so I'm really trying to do my best right now at my studies. I'm trying to, a little bit supportive to my family, and to be a nice guy to the people around in my life, and in my family, friends, and to the people who know me, and even to the people that I work with. I try as much as I can. Not saying that I am that guy, but I'm trying. That's what I'm saying. And I hope that the rest, after doing this, the rest will be okay.
Well said. Well spoken.
Thank you. And I also want to thank you for this nice
Therapy.
Yeah. You remind me of a friend, It was a real therapy. I really thank you for this nice tea, by the way.
Oh yeah,
and this good night and conversations. Yeah.
It's the same here, man.
Thank you for coming. No, thank you for inviting. Thank you for coming. No, please.
This is on the Arab way, or
It's also the same in Iran.
yeah, the Arab Iranian way.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 100 goodbyes until they actually leave.
Yeah. So salam. Okay, salam.
So you set the date, right?
You said it. Yeah.
Okay, that's.
So you want to say it again? Because
I can't remember if I said we are on, but definitely now we are off.